Welcome to Weird Car History. This is a brand new series on my channel that I'm super excited for, and it's pretty simple. I'm going to enlighten your minds on some of the weirdest uncommon cars to ever hit the road. For the pilot episode, I present to you my latest car obsession, the Kia Borrego V8. Yes, a full-size, body-on-frame V8 SUV made by Kia. As awesome as it sounds, the Borrego was a total failure in the United States. Since this is the first video, let me break down how this is going to work. I'm going to go through some background on the Borrego, explain its oddities, analyze why it was a flop, give you some sales figures, and to conclude, if I can convince you to want one of these, I'll be showing you some Borrego V8s currently on the market if you want one of your own. So stay tuned. This is the Kia Borrego V8. Alright, so for some background knowledge on the Kia Borrego. The Borrego was introduced in 2009 to the US market as a full-size body-on-frame SUV meant to compete with other big-name full-size SUVs such as the Chevy Suburban, Ford Expedition, and others. Base prices of the Borrego started at about $27,000 back in 2009 for a base model V6, which is about $35,000 in today's money. If you wanted an EX-V8, the Borrego started at about $32,000, which is about $41,500 adjusted for inflation, and worked its way up from there. Interestingly enough, while doing research for this video, for the V8 models at least, many Borrego owners oftentimes say they love their Borrego, and note that it rides smooth and is pretty reliable for the most part, with some even saying they have over 200,000 miles on theirs. And for some other cool background information, Borrego translates into bighorn sheep, which is basically a ram. One other cool thing is the Borrego is actually very popular in the Middle East, known as the Kia Mojave. It was sold out the entirety of the 2010s and is still available to this day, getting a second generation facelift as a luxury SUV, meaning the Borrego lives on throughout the world. So for some cool features about the Borrego, let's start with the color schemes. As you saw in the thumbnail, the Borrego is marketed in copperhead orange, which is a unique color that actually fits the rather large Borrego nicely. Other notable colors of the Borrego included midnight blue, and my personal favorite, spicy red. I hope whoever coined that name got a raise. The most notable feature of the Borrego was its V8, as I believe it was the first Kia V8 ever produced, and the only one since then to my knowledge besides the K900, which had a different engine entirely. The Borrego offered a 4.6-liter V8 engine which produced 337 horsepower and 323 pound-feet of torque, capable of towing 7,500 pounds. Needless to say, the Borrego had some muscle. The fact of it being a full-size V8 Kia SUV makes the Borrego cool though, at least to me. And the Borrego had a solid interior for a 2009 Kia, with some offering really nice black or gray leather seats. So again, the coolest feature about the Borrego is its surprise V8, as I feel few people expected a V8 from Kia. As I said, the Borrego had a 4.6-liter V8, which boasted 337 horsepower. This figure fared pretty well against some other competitors in 2009, having more horsepower than both the Armada and Expedition, but still falling short of the Suburban, Sequoia, and others. I also love how there's just a massive V8 badge on the engine cover to show people that you're not lying when you say you own a V8 Kia. The Borrego was an anomaly in Kia's lineup, briefly as the flagship luxury SUV, being the only luxury Kia ever made at that point in time besides the Amante, which is a sedan anyways. Think about it from this perspective. In 2009, Kia did not have the brand reputation that it does today. Kia was mainly viewed as an economy company for more entry-level vehicles in the market. In 2021, there are an abundance of luxury Kias, such as the K900, formerly the Kia Cadenza, the Kia Stinger GT, and even some higher-end trims of the Kia Telluride. Back in 2009, Kia made entry-level vehicles such as the Rio, the Rondo, the Optima, cars whose sticker prices were $10,000 to $20,000 cheaper than the Borrego's starting price. People who had this kind of money wanted a luxury car or staple truck like the Suburban or the Expedition. There was no market for an expensive full-size V8 Kia luxury SUV. And being that it came out the worst possible time, the Borrego was doomed in the US market. So in terms of sales, for the US market, the Borrego was only offered as new in the 2009 model year, and due to its poor sales figures, Kia pulled the plug after one production year. The odd thing is, if we use the same set of competitors from the horsepower table, the Borrego didn't do that bad. While it did get tripled and quadrupled by the Expedition and Suburban respectively, it did outsell the Armada, the Durango, and the H2. Altogether though, they sold about 22,600 Borregos, as a recession and rising gas prices basically killed any shot of the Borrego success. Of the 22,600, probably less than half of them are V8s, making them extremely rare to see on the roads in America. To this day, I remember seeing only one Borrego in my life maybe 5 or 6 years ago at a Wawa, and I haven't seen one since. And for fun, here's some other weird cars that outsold the Borrego in 2009. Alright, so if I convince you to want a Borrego of your own, rest assured you have options. According to Car Gurus, as of December 21st, 2021, there are 7 V8 Borregos for sale nationwide in the United States. The lowest mileage you can get is about 92,000, with the highest boasting over 218,000 miles. The best deal I saw was about $8,000 for a one-owner, 116,000 mile Borrego in copperhead orange with the black leather interior, which is actually a really good price. If I was loaded, this Borrego would be in my driveway right now. If you want the cheapest Borrego V8 with the high miles, it'll run you about $5,600 for a two-owner, 218,000 mile Borrego offered in spicy red with a nice gray leather interior. And if you want the least miles on your Borrego V8, it'll run you about $10,000 for a two-owner, 92,000 mile Borrego offered in black, and since there were no interior pictures, I have no clue what the interior is. So with that, into the oblivion goes the Borrego. In all honesty, I feel like if the Borrego was introduced today, it would have the potential to sell well in the United States, given the increasing demand for SUVs and Kia's boosted brand name. It honestly is a pretty nicely designed SUV, with a decent interior and a solidly reliable V8 engine according to some owners on YouTube and car advertisements that I've seen. I love the Borrego for its extreme rarity and odd Kia V8 engine, as it was a deserving vehicle for the pilot episode of Weird Car History. If any of you watching own a Borrego V8 and live in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, or New York region, I would love to film a review and feature your Borrego on my channel, so feel free to reach out. Other Borrego owners, I would love to hear some stories of personal ownership and reliability, so feel free to enlighten us in the comments. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Weird Car History. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it, and you learned a couple things about my all-time favorite Kia. Please let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. I want to hear any feedback that you have. And if you have a request of a car you want to see on Weird Car History, drop in the comments below, and maybe I'll make a video of it. Thank you again for watching, and stay tuned for more videos down the road.